Good afternoon. My name is Aaron Kubo, and I'm an 8th grade social studies educator at Hilo Intermediate School. Today, we actually attended a rally on the Capitol grounds organized by the National Education Association, and was there to support what is going on in this current federal environment, stand strong and united from teachers across America against the possible cuts to education that they're proposing to do and the dismantling of the Federal Department of Education. Earlier today, I did have a chance to speak with our Congress folks, Congressman Ed Case and Congresswoman Joe Tokuda, and they did mention that they are proposing to cut millions of dollars from the Federal Department of Education, and that is just a staggering amount of numbers. And so to lead us off into more details is my state president, Osa Tui.
Hello, I'm Osa Tui, president of the Hawaiʻi State Teachers Association. So Linda McMahon, whose first hearing to become Secretary of Education will be tomorrow, is going to fit into the mold of Betsy DeVos, who is just another billionaire who will do what she can to eviscerate public education and is more interested in profiting off of our keiki than providing them with the education that they deserve. The plan is already laid bare with another billionaire, Elon Musk, to eliminate the US Department of Education, which was put in place during President Carter's term to make education a priority and streamline how public education was funded in the past. 11% of funding for Hawaii public schools comes from the federal government. This school year, there are 165,000 students in Hawaii's public schools. Of that, $52 million is in what's called Title I funding, which goes to help 96,000 of those 165,000 students who live in lower income areas and suffer disproportionately from lower incomes. And 20,000 special needs students across the islands could be the most impacted, as we receive $38 million a year from the Education Department to help the students who are most in need. Homeless youth will also be impacted, and this would only exacerbate our homelessness problem. The federal funds that are used to support our keiki would instead be tossed away, tossing those keiki to the side. In our society, there is talent and there's opportunity. Talent is spread throughout. Opportunity is not. That is the promise of public education. Our public school educators help to develop those varied talents within all of our keiki and give them the opportunities that they might not otherwise have. With that, we're open to any questions you might have. Mahalo for joining us today.
Hi, this is Victoria. Do we have a breakdown of like what the funding, the federal funds look like? Like how many goes to teachers, how many goes to classroom?
We can work on getting that to you, Keiki. I don't know if we have
Yes.
that.
We don't have that precise a breakdown, Victoria, of teachers and classrooms. That's not really the way it's handled, but it's handled for, as Osa went through it, like Title I, which is aid for some of the neediest, poorest students across the state, or for special ed students and all that. We do have a breakdown of that we'll provide you.
Okay, thank you.
And the department might have finer details that we just don't have ourselves.
I guess a follow-up question, if the federal funds, if they do get cut and when they do get cut, do you think that the state would be able to survive on its own, or?
All of our states are looking at what are we going to do with federal funds, not only for education, but for Medicare and all the different types of services that are essential just to run. What's going to happen to all those dollars? Where are they going to go? Whose pockets are they going to go into? That's what we're very concerned about. Whether or not we can withstand, this is going to be a huge loss. And I know legislators are desperately trying to figure out what are we going to do in the event that Hawaii loses this types of money. We don't have that kind of money in our pocket to be able to take care of it. So there's definitely going to have to be something cut, something taken away from all of the people in Hawaii are going to lose out if this comes to pass.
Hi, this is Bryce from Hawaiʻi News Now. Can you hear me?
Hi, Bryce. I hear you.
So how many teachers or people from Hawaii were at the Capitol today?
So today we had myself, president of HSTA. We had Aaron Kubo, who is what's called our NEA director. He's with the National Education. Well, sorry, he's a teacher in Hilo Intermediate, but he also represents HSTA at the national level and does things regarding like talking to our congressional delegation and so forth. And last we had a teacher. Her name is Hope McKean. She's a Hawaiian studies teacher, also on the Big Island in the Puna. Aaron, please correct me.
Yeah, so Hope McKean is a district resource in Hawaiiana for the Ka'u Keʻau Pohoa district.
So three of us were there.
Okay, and then maybe a question for Aaron, like why did you decide to go in person, and then what was your experience like?
So as a classroom teacher, hearing that they're going to propose to cut $330 billion from, of the federal monies for education, we as I'm a Title I school, that means a lot of my kids are in free and reduced. They plan to cut USDA funds as well. Those funds that feeds our kids breakfast and lunch, and so a lot of our kids, that's the only meal that they get, all day. And so hearing that the federal government wants to cut all those things and then take away Title I funding, which again is meant to bridge the gap between our neediest populations and help raise them up, and to hear that they want to cut those services and to cut special education services and, funds that actually help all of our students is unfortunate and disgraceful, to be honest. And to be wanting to do something, at least to show solidarity with my fellow educators out there, is what I wanted to do. And that's what we did. We heard from many folks out there and sharing the same message. And we want to have some hope rather than despair, that we want to make a change and we don't want to have our kids be the targets, right, of what's happening and the collateral damage that's going to happen when, if actually, or perhaps when these cuts occur.
And Bryce, just to be completely upfront, we actually were scheduled to be here already. We do quarterly come to DC to talk with the congressional delegation and to talk about issues. And it just so happens that while we're here, tomorrow there's going to be the hearing for Linda McMahon for Secretary of Education. So we're here in the chaos. We're here doing everything that's going on, and people are panicking, especially those who are the most vulnerable, parents who have children who they need these special supports in order to take care of their children, to give their children what they need to function in society. And really, that's what they're taking away. They're taking away the opportunity to have them be prepared for what's going to come tomorrow. I'm very worried. If we take away these supports for these children, what is going to happen? What is in their future? Are these just throwaway kids that people don't care about? Teachers care very much. These billionaires only care about profit.
Hi, this is Dwayne Shimagawa, KITV4 News. Hey, OC. Hey, obviously a big part of this is the funding, the cutting of funding and whatnot, but what's also mentioned is the reduction of services and programs. What's the real importance of that? And how will Hawaii be specifically impacted in those areas?
Well, teachers are going to do everything in our power to make sure that our keiki have what they need. We're already underfunded as it is, so it's not like we don't know how to make do with very little, but this is going to be drastic cuts, and to the point where you really positions, we'll lose positions. A lot of our schools that are Title I, that comes with positions and bodies to help with the support. And if that money disappears, we don't know what's going to happen, because when you lose the positions, it's really scary. We're seeing it at the university level already. A lot of this USAID, people have lost their jobs because of that, like the East-West Center. We're worried that that's going to happen when they do these types of things as well in our schools. honestly, we don't know how we're gonna handle it because it's gonna just have to be something that we take care of day by day. It's gonna almost have to be like COVID, where it was unexpected, and we just did our best through trying times.
Anybody?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Megan. Hi.
Hi, this is Megan Tagami from Civil Beat. Also, you mentioned earlier that homeless students might also be affected under these cuts. I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about what that would look like, and I guess I was wondering, are you referring specifically to funds for the McKinney-Vento Act?
So I'm referring to actually two parts of that. First of all, yes, funds for the McKinney-Vento Act. As a registrar at my high school, I saw kids coming in all the time who needed supports because they were living out on the streets. As a educator at McKinley High School, you know that we have a lot of homeless population around our school. And so students would often come and they needed the supplies and the supports that were provided through the McKinney-Vento Act to help homeless students. But I'm also talking about, if we lose these funds to help our special needs students, then they are going to be less prepared to deal with the issues that will come up in their lives when they leave the public school system. And we know that when kids are not prepared for the next step in life, that they are going to have a harder time and possibly more likely fall through the cracks than they already are. And we have a problem with that already as it is, and we don't want to exacerbate that problem.